Yo, right here in the small box. We're going to go ahead and talk about this whole Spotify buying Who Sampled situation because this might be one of the biggest problems in music, if I'm going to be super real. This is going to be a big problem. Let's go ahead and get started because I want to get straight to the video. Y'all know how I do this. Let's make it happen. Yo, you, right here in the small box, Welcome back to FlexMob Reactions, only on the FlexMob Network. I'm Flex. Welcome back to the channel. You tapped in with your favorite Canadian reaction channel. Y'all tapped in. Let's go ahead and get started. Spotify bought Who Sampled, and we're all going to jail. Damn. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think about the video. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think about the reaction. Hit that notification bell so you get notified when I drop my videos or when I'm live, like right now. And let's go. Let's get started.
My blood ran cold on the internet the other day because I saw this headline.
Oh, word? I didn't know about that. That's crazy.
Spotify acquires Who Sampled, announces expanded song credits. So, top line, headline from me is what this means is I'm going to jail. That's what it means. I'm going to jail. All of my crimes will be exposed for
Guess who's going to jail tonight? I love that song.
everyone to see. I'm going to be sued 6 ways from Sunday, along with most of my rap friends. We're all going under various jails. They won't even do us the courtesy of putting up.
Is that Miss Big Slade Queen in the chat? Miss see your big sis. Wagwan, y'all right?
Us in the same jail. We're going to go under various prisons. The sample sourcing website will continue to operate as a standalone platform and brand, according to a statement. It just makes me think about when I first discovered Who Sampled. It used to be called the Rap Sample FAQ.
Talk about it.
And it's basically a log of crimes. See, this is the thing about Who Sampled, formerly Rap Sample FAQ. It is literally a log, and very accurate in most cases, of the songs that were sampled to make hip-hop songs, or all manner of song now. It's not even restricted to hip-hop. But if something's got sampled and people identify it, they put it on this sample FAQ, and it was largely user-generated. I think it still might be. So this might be the largest user-generated data source of crimes in the world, because the website Who Sampled, formerly known as Rap Sample FAQ, is not concerned with whether or not a sample has been cleared. So if a producer sampled a record and didn't clear it with the original copyright holder, and an artist heard this beat and rapped over it and either didn't ask what the sample sources were, or figured that they were too under the radar to have to pay for it, and they didn't, and this music came out into the world, realizing that largely the detection of said sampling would have been up to people's keen ears, right? And they just went ahead and pushed her through anyway. As, I can say that myself and a bunch of my rap friends have done. Rap Sample FAQ or the current whosampled.com, it didn't matter to them whether it was a crime.
Travel's donated $2. Spotify can't keep getting away with all this hate against black art. Lol, acquiring Who Sampled is insane.
Thanks for the donation.
Oh, no, that's Streamlabs.
I didn't catch all that because I was mid-yap, but thank you for the donation. The website doesn't care if the sample is cleared or not, and it's all there to be seen. And now Spotify has bought it, and Spotify is going to roll this information into their credits. Wow, there's going to be suddenly a lot more rap crime on display.
Life as an artist, if you're on Spotify, is going to get very, very, very difficult. One thing that I want to say first before we continue with the video is that the game is continuously being changed. The rules are not the same no more. The playing field has evolved. It's going to be harder to be an artist. So for anybody out there that's trying to be an artist, regardless if it's rap, R&B, whatever, yo, prepare for the storm that is going to come. Because I can guarantee you right now, majority of y'all, if you were to start, y'all are going to give up. There's no point. And you know what? You know, if I'm going to be completely honest, you know what? Even though I hate the rules, and trust me, I am not a fan of what I'm hearing, because you're kind of hindering the creativity. You're kind of putting a ball and chain on creativity. It's like you're trying to enslave creativity. But you want to know one thing that's positive, that's gonna bring about like all this chaos? It's gonna weed out all the garbage artists. I don't think labels are going to continue to sign dummies. Because even if you look at the climate today, the dummies can't even make money like that for real. Let's be super honest. Just because their music streams a lot doesn't mean they're really successful. That just means you had a moment. And even from that moment, you barely got paid. A lot of these artists today, and specifically today, not everybody that's already like aged, the newer artists, they cannot sell out anything. They have to rely on festivals. You don't get money from festivals like that compared to a tour. If you tour dolo or with other people, you're going to get way more money than from a festival. Festival is almost like pocket change. Depending on your stardom, depending on your time slot. Congratulations, you're hopeless. There's certain artists out there that I'm pointing at when I am saying this. And it's not with like hate. I'm just here to warn and help y'all out. But, you know, if you're not going to listen, fuck it.
Spotify has acquired the sample sourcing website whosampled, the streaming.
Come on, Shanice, tell him. Tell him. Kendrick said take it all off. Ugh, you ugly as you out of pocket.
Service announced it is rolling out a new feature called Song DNA, which will aggregate and centralize samples. Song DNA. Aggregate and centralize samples and covers of songs based on the whosampled database. So this also pisses me off too, because what this is saying is they're going to make it where you can click on the sample and see other songs that sampled it. They won't even do that for like independent record labels. They won't make it where like if you click on my label Auto Reverse and it would show you all of the albums that Auto Reverse put out. Wouldn't that be helpful for me? And that's something that even the giant record labels have been asking Spotify to do for years. And it's refused to do a thing that might be helpful. But since it's bought its new database of music crime, it's going to make that clickable and easy to navigate. So let's say you're a very litigious copyright lawyer and you'd like to you're awake and you've opened your newspaper and you're sipping your morning coffee and you're wondering, who could I sue today? It'll be really easy to just go on Spotify and click.
You see how he's mapping it out for everybody to understand? What's going to happen based on this article is you have a sampled song, a song that was sampled. I'm sorry, let me say it like that. You have a song that was sampled. How this is going to work is this: if you click on that and there's a drop down menu of all the people that sampled this one song, all that artist needs to do is sit there, take jot notes of names, and start suing every single one of them Yeah, it's going to get real dark outside. Oh, wait. It already is. Oh, God, this is crazy. This is crazy. if I'm going to be super honest. Yo, Kiss sampling Goodbye. Not literally, but figuratively. Wow. Wow. What's good, Lex Hobbs? First time here. Welcome to the Flex Your Mind Network. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you. Let me go ahead and get to some of these comments real quick. They're going to sign less and less rappers because they want the dummies, and we as rap consumers don't want that anymore, and that's okay. Exactly. I'll enjoy my indie rap quite fine, thank you, with a cup of tea too. Come on now. This would be a great idea if inserted, instead of identifying samples, it identifies who were the sources sampled for, data set used, and oh yeah, no, I agree with you. I agree with you, Furry B. But here, yo, Furry B, as much as your idea is damn near perfect, you notice how they're taking care of AI music. They're not going to do it. They want AI music to be pushed because that way of working is easier for the industry than working with real people. But that just goes to show you who's behind the scenes. It's not talent. It's programmers and techie nerds that's controlling music right now. And they're slowly pushing everybody out as if it's closing time. They want AI music to stay. Oh, even better. There's an article out there. Guess what? Breaking news. There's an AI A&R artist. I repeat, there is an AI A&R artist. Or sorry, manager. I apologize, manager. AI A&R manager. Breaking news. Like, yeah. AI A&R manager. AI. Artificial intelligence. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? What are we going to do, bro? It's getting real spooky out here. I ain't going to lie to you.
Clyde Stubblefield's or James Brown's funky drummer, and just sue a bunch of people, many of which are probably inches away from the poorhouse as it is. The streaming service announced it's rolling out a new feature called Song DNA, which will aggregate and centralize samples and covers of songs based on the whosampled database. According to a statement from whosampled, the site will continue to operate as a standalone platform and brand. So you'll still be able to put your crime logs on there as a user. Don't worry, the Spotify bought it. You can still log people's crimes, whether they're into it or not, on their website. Don't you worry. As of today, Spotify is also expanding its song credits feature to include all personnel who worked on a given song. The platform first introduced song credits in 2018, a year after Tidal began publicly displaying song and album credits, but previously listed only top-line performers, songwriters, and producers. Every song is a collaboration, and every contributor should be seen, said Spotify's Jacqueline Ankner. You know, I think if you're a corporation called Spotify, I don't know if you should get into conversations that use the word should. I don't know if you should do that, because should artists be paid a fraction of a penny whenever their music is played? Are we doing should, Spotify? Because I don't know if you want to get into a should conversation.
Just imagine this for a second, bro. You have a song on Spotify, and the way that you're getting paid is from pieces of a penny. Imagine somebody cutting up a penny into 8 different pieces. One piece of that penny, here's your payment. Don't worry, there's more coming. Don't worry, there's a lot more coming. you're getting an eighth of a penny. Just an example. But you're getting an eighth of a penny, not the full 1 cent. You're getting a piece of a 1 cent. Yo, why are their artists still there? I know I explained that you can use Spotify to advertise your music. But don't put the whole song. Put like half the song and be like, oh, if you want to hear the rest, make sure you go to this website. Do that at least. Bro, you're getting a piece of a penny, not the full penny. Not the full 1 cent. You're only getting a little piece. Here, take it. Don't splurge. Are you serious? That's so crazy. That is so crazy.
I'm not sure you have the platform. I'm not sure you have the standing ethically to do that. I'm not sure if they should pay artificial intelligence using people. Anyway, yeah, because Spotify, they have their own like artists that use AI and they know it and they pay them like they're real people and they hire them. So basically that's them paying royalties to themselves. Should they do that? I don't know. Let's ask them, you know? With expanded song credits, song DNA, and about the song, we're giving fans a deeper look at the people and creative threads behind the music they love and giving creators the recognition they deserve.
You don't get 1 cent.
It's so
you
nice of them.
No number.
It's another step in Spotify's work to champion the people, connections, and stories that bring every track to life. That's so sweet. That's so sweet.
Stop the cap.
If only we could get an entire penny. I wonder if they would champion us by giving us the rest of the penny. Oh, who sampled? Yep. When I first discovered that website, what I used to do was I would go through my favorite albums, some of which I had already stolen through
LimeWire. I'm sorry.
Various peer-to-peer networks. And I would go through each song and I would go through each sample and I would try to go also steal the sampled song because at that time I was a big old music criminal. It reminds me of the difference between my mindset now and my mindset then, right? Because my mindset then was, oh, look, music's free now. So let me get all the music I can without paying for it, find out everything I can, and then go back and find the music that went into music that I love and didn't pay for it. Also not pay for that. And it's all okay. But what I've learned is that a big part of the reason why mainstream music doesn't contain, or the big reason that mainstream rap music isn't as varied as it used to be, why it doesn't have all the options that it used to have, is because people like me stopped paying for it. The people like me who used to buy the albums by people like Organized Confusion and De La Soul, who we'll get to today, and Common and Mos Def and all of these people, those offices within those record labels that were pushing these subgenres of music were very dependent on people like me paying $10 each time I wanted to own one of these albums. So when people like me, especially, stopped doing that, suddenly that office got shut down within that record label. They stopped seeing a reason to put a line item in the budget to make music that appealed to underground rap fans, since underground rap fans, like myself, stopped paying for music. Right? So,
Shanice, I'm going to read your comment real quick because I love it. I feel like everything should go back to the traditional way of paying for music when we bought physical copies and no one knew anything about monthly listeners or streaming numbers. Tell them that ish. I love it. And here's the magical part about what you just said. We're pretty much on our way to that, and we're gonna be super honest. But in today's day and age, there are digital opportunities to hold albums. Now, can we get the physicals? Of course we can. We can absolutely buy the physicals, whether if you want a CD or a vinyl. A lot of artists give out that option for nostalgic purposes. But in today's day and age, you can simply upload your music to a website that you've created for yourself, mind you, and you can sell your project on that website so that when somebody purchases, all they got to do is just hit download, and then whatever they bought is in their phone. I explained it last time. So on my phone, because I have a Samsung, I have Samsung Music on my phone. Usually when you have that application, there's no music in it. Doesn't mean it's broken. It just means you got to put music in it. So whatever you download off the internet from your Samsung phone, whatever music that you're going to get, MP3 files, simply when that happens, it goes straight to Samsung Music. And then whatever you download, you play it from there. And mind you, I didn't mention Spotify not once. That's basically getting the music outside of the traditional route that everybody goes down. Where we're going in music right now is that a lot of indie artists are going to be famous. Okay? They're going to be popping. Indie artists are going to band together and make their own festivals one day. They're going to make their own major tours one day. And all of them are just individuals that are not under any industries. They're not under no music industry, no label. It's just them and their team. LaRussell's doing great. Okay, he's doing fantastic right now. He is the example a lot of artists need to follow. There are ways to sell your music as an artist without record labels. There's ways to do it. That's where it's going right now. Funny enough, though, record labels are sitting there trying to figure out how are we going to try and combat that idea. How do we go up against it? And their answer is AI music. Is it the underlying answer? No. But it's an idea that they have that might lead to something else. It's all about stepping stones and where those stepping stones going to take you. If you understand what your job is as an artist, you don't need a record label. But if you don't understand your job as an artist, the record label is going to get you. It's a twisted game of attrition we're playing, bruh. Who's trying to win?
That crime is part of the original sin of underground hip hop going away. And it was partly.
Hey, V baby, you should go on eBay. I'm sure you can get some. I don't think the dollar store has those no more.
Ate it.
Y'all remember the MP3 player with the USB port on the end of it, and all you gotta do is just plug it in, open the file, whatever song files that you got off of LimeWire. You take those files, you put it into the MP3 player, you plug out your MP3 player, you put the cap back on, you plug in your earphones, you put the earphones in, you hit play, and god damn it, you hear "Kiss Me Through the Phone." Or let me hold you.
By the rap sample FAQ, the log of crimes that all of us criminals would use. And I know a lot of people love.
What's good, Connor?
Website.
How you feeling?
I know a lot of people love
good,
that
bro,
website.
don't worry.
I remember, and I pulled this up so I could revisit it. I tweeted this on September 8th, 2024. So this is over a year ago. Someone named #Jenny did an engagement tweet that said, "Who's not police but feels like police to you?" Dog Sweat, thank you for the gifted. My answer was Who Sampled. This got 48 comments, 615 retweets, 7.2 thousand likes.
Damn.
These replies were not happy, though. People were not happy that I was shitting on their favorite website, whosampled.com. And what it exposed to me was that a lot of people do not know how the music business of rap works. They really don't know. They really think everything is above board, and that all of the sampled artists and all of the producers and all of the rappers are all skipping through the poppies and sharing this fraction of a penny with each other. That's what people think is happening. I'm here to tell you, it's not how it is. Mm-hmm. It's not how it is. This person replied with, and remember, I said, who sample feels like the police? This person said, then Wikipedia and an album's literal liner notes would be the police too. And I said, do you need me to tell you why that makes zero sense? And they said yes. So let me explain to those that don't know.
This girl said, where's your late slip? I am sick. What the fuck?
Wikipedia will only include, and I say only in that I'm 99.9% sure of this, Wikipedia will only include verified sources for samples. So what that means is they will include the cleared samples that are announced via business means. So that's the stuff that would have ended up in the liner notes. And like this person says, an album's literal liner notes. The album's literal liner notes will only include the samples that they have cleared. Okay.
Yo, Connor, you better pass your test, huh? Hey, let me tell you something. You better pass your test, or I'm gonna ban you for a couple days. I'm gonna tell you, hey, make sure, huh? Pass your test, or you gonna get banned for a couple days. Try me. You better pass your test with flying colors. Okay. You better get that education.
Okay. That's a huge difference between what happens on whosampled.com. Like I said previously, whosampled.com and the users who generate the information that comprises that website are not concerned with whether or not a sample is cleared. This is why the term sample snitching exists. Sample snitching is not about samples that are cleared. If it's cleared, then it's lawful and it's legal. That means providing that information is not snitching. However, going through a song with a fine-tooth comb and finding every drum that was taken from every song and every sample that was flipped backwards and filtered and chopped up and presented in a website that can be bought by a giant corporation that uses artificial intelligence.
Yeah, Josh.
In all sorts of ways means that all of this log of crime will now be used by robots to display information that will get us all sent to prison. Now, I'm being hyperbolic about how it will end up, but
the idea is clear though, because you got to remember AI is right there with what I explained earlier. How there's going to be a main song, and that song, if sampled, you can click on it, and it can show all the other songs that sampled this one song, and then include AI into that. Then AI can go around and just automatically start suing everybody. Do you understand what kind of war that is going to start in music? Oh my God.
This is a real challenge, a real obstacle to sampling. And there have been a lot of obstacles to sampling. I mean, hip hop, by its nature, especially in terms of how it was originally created and how some of the classic albums that we love were made, through a couple of very key legal battles, one including De La Soul and the Turtles, another including Bismarcky and Gilbert O'Sullivan, I believe. This method of putting music together was declared illegal. And that decision, or series of decisions, largely shaped the sound of mainstream rap going forward forever. That's why stuff ended up moving in the direction of Swiss beats, Pharrell and the Neptunes. And of course, within that, there's some people who can operate within that framework brilliantly, but it moved towards people who knew how to play music.
Let's not forget that one individual with the forbidden name. The man with the forbidden name that is currently chilling in jail with gray hair. Just think about that for a second. The man that's in jail right now, the forbidden name that we do not speak about. If we're going to be honest, some of his best songs had samples. Let's not forget Mo Money, Mo Problems. Okay? He was known for taking the classics and flipping them to go crazy. The forbidden name, ladies and gentlemen.
Music and use synthesizers and use keyboards, because it moved away from samples because samples were illegal. So it became a lot more risky for a giant record label to pay a lot of money hiring the services of rappers and paying a lot.
Quickie, I dare you to mix it. Mix the tequila with the cut water. Let's see what happens.
The money to promote their albums if there was so much legal risk involved. So that's sort of...
Connor, ignore everything I just said.
Defined where the mainstream went. Part of the benefit of being underground or independent was that you would fly under the radar. Like I said, it would take the keen ears of people who really knew what they were listening to even catch some of the stuff that was sampled, because not enough units were being moved. The albums weren't coming up on a high enough profile to cause these projects to be called out for this illegal sampling. But now they're going to use robots. So sampling's in trouble, folks. And I'll be sad to see what may happen. And then, even beyond the hypotheticals for the future of the genre, I don't know how to protect myself and my previously released works if highly litigious lawyers come knocking. Honestly, early in my career, I'd say my first 3 or 4 albums, I didn't even ask what the producers were doing. I have cleared exactly one sample in my life. I wonder if any of y'all could guess what it was, but I've cleared one sample in my life. And
hey, Shanice, let's not forget Today Was a Good Day by Ice Cube. I know Quickie gonna say something when I say that, because I know how much he loved the Isley Brothers track, the original. Listen, the Isley Brothers, as long as they still on this planet, if this happens and this is successfully launched, the Isley Brothers are going to start to collect. Same with Keith Sweat. Okay? Let's not forget him either. Oh my God. Jesus Christ.
It cost a lot of money. And I decided from that point forward, I was probably never going to do that again. It cost too much money to do. And it didn't even cost like an arm and a leg, but the margins for profit are so razor thin on these projects that it's really difficult to justify paying whatever number a copyright holder thinks they deserve. I mean, and that's not to say that they shouldn't have a price. I'm just saying my thought process became either I can get away with it or I shouldn't use it. And that's also, I think it's also important with all of that information in mind, that, producers make some effort to make an artistic creation out of what they're sampling. So you're not just rapping over the theme of the Bozo Show and acting like nobody should care. I mean, we got into that conversation a little bit when it came to West Side Gun using the WWE stuff, right? Like,
I heard about that.
if you're just taking it and using it, if you reach a certain level of popularity,
what's good, Jordan? How you feeling?
Hey, you probably shouldn't do that no more. But if you're taking things and using them in ways that are largely undetectable, that should be worth something. It should be worth something. Like and subscribe, homie, friend.
I want everybody to go back and read what V Baby said about Tory Lanez. I want everybody in the chat to read what she... Yeah, I'm reading it. Screw it. I'm reading it. Nah, this is important. I also believe that's why Tory Lanez is in prison, because he was talking about a loophole he found to cut out the record labels, and the artist makes all the money. Now, I understand when it comes to this name and what it's attached to, I'm right there with you. I want to make that clear right now. However, I hate to break it to you. And I really hate to break it to you.
Let me fully explain this to you. I told y'all, $1 for the NFTs, right? I sold these shits to my fans for...
This is back when the NFTs were popping. Tory Lanez made an NFT album. To this day, it's not on DSPs. Tory Lanez made an NFT album. Sold it for $1. From that $1, he sold 1 million copies. Oh, we're not done. Here's the best part. Back when NFTs were popping, because keep in mind, the cover art was the NFT. On the website they made, you can sell the NFT for profit.
$1. People came, some people bought 20, some people bought 5, some people bought 60. It doesn't matter how much you bought. It was only $1. You spent $60, you bought 60. I need y'all to understand. One of those copies right now is going for 50,000, 60,000. They're sold. Go look at the list right now and see how small the sellers list is getting. Y'all don't understand? I just cracked the fucking industry. Y'all don't understand? I just cracked this shit. Let me fully...
Now, for the average individual that's out there, you're not going to understand it, and I completely understand that. If you are familiar with me, I like to keep things business. I like to keep it business, okay? I understand emotions can run. Emotions can fly. Emotions can confuse you, make you dizzy, etc. Emotions can affect you. I get that. I want to make sure I make that part clear first, because I know how people can take things and run and then assume things. That's not what I'm doing here. I'm simply just showing y'all what's really going on. V Baby said it and locked it in. I'm glad you said it, because a lot of people won't get it. If you just broke down what he just said, $1 NFT selling back to others. You buy 1 copy, you buy 2 copies, you buy 10 copies, or you buy 60 copies. It was like stocks. The NFT was like buying stocks, but it's art, digital art. And at the time, a lot of people made a lot of money from it. That was the third way to get that digital money. It was Bitcoin. Then it was crypto. And then you had the NFT, if I'm correct. Is it crypto? I know Bitcoin for sure. Was it crypto? Anyway, my point is, that was the third way to get it. Get money on the internet like that. This is where it's going to get a little nasty, but let's walk it down. They have that boy in jail for a decade. Usually when something like that happens, you don't get sentenced for that long. I ain't going to lie to you. That's usually you don't get sentenced for that long for something like that. But they gave him the if I'm correct, what they said, it was like an extension towards the sentence to maximize it. Listen, I'm going down a path that is very dangerous. All I'm saying, that's what he's there for. They're letting him rot in there because he couldn't keep his mouth shut, and then, you know, pew pew, everybody got to get shot. So Curtis just had a video talking to Screwface, and there's apparently a story that ties to this. It has something to do with Tory and Dax. Yeah. I'm telling you, going down that path to kind of explain it, it's dark and it can get nasty. And if you don't know the situation fully, then you're going to look at me with hate. And honestly, if you're looking at me with hate, you know what? I'll accept that, because I'm talking about something a lot of people won't get or they don't want to get. And you know what? I'm not here to force you to understand. I'm just explaining what I know. So if there's hate that comes with it, it's cool. It's understandable. But over here, I break it down the best way I can for everybody to understand. Walking down that path is dark. That's all I got to say. But that's the main thing that came from that. So when V-Baby said it, I was not surprised.
My blood ran.
I was not surprised at all, you know? I know this is off topic, but Dave just dropped a music video with Kano. Oh, say a word. That's why it's best to keep things quiet exactly when you figure it out, something, and keep it to yourself or select few people. Facts, exactly. Clock strikes 12 midnight, arrives, I'm dead. But Tory Lanez was kind of like the catalyst for what's happening today with indie artists. You know? It's crazy. It's crazy to see it happen, but this is the game they play. When you figure something out, you shut the f up. Because I promise you right now, it's not going to go the way you think it's going to go. Shout out to you for throwing it out there for others to follow. Like I said, you're the catalyst for that, but Rock Nation got your ass. Anyway, this Who Sampled, this Spotify situation, this is going to get nasty. It's going to get nasty. And the funny thing is, when it's launched, it's not going to be too harsh. It's going to be calm. But as those updates start to go through, that's when it's going to get bad and worse and worse. And it's going to get weird. With Spotify, it's going to get weird. And you know what? There's nothing we can do about it except go to subscriptions, cancel subscription, and then log out and exit Spotify for good, because they're not helping nobody right now. Spotify's not helping the consumer. They're not helping the artist. They're making it worse. But they're going to package it in a cute little bow for the consumer to purchase. I'd rather use a Spotify free version, even though I hate listening to ads as if it's the radio, but is what it is. I wonder if he could rewind the time and just after drop broke in a minute would be, oh, buddy. That would be a moment. But there we go. I wanted to dive into that. So shout out to y'all for tapping in for sure. I loved this video. Very informative. And I like that informative-ish, you know? Let's keep going, though.